everyone, and welcome to the Super Boomer Lifestyle Show. This is the show where we talk about super boomers and more, and this show will enhance your life, your health, and empower you and beyond. I am so excited that you're here. My name is Caren Glasser, and I am your live stream host, and we do this every single week. We bring in major super boomers, and we talk about what it really means to be a super boomer. And today is we're having super boomers today. I completely lost the word. I have no idea what I was going to say. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and invite my guest to come on in just a second. But today we're going to be tackling how to be the superstar of your own life at any age. Because how many people have told you that you're too old? And we're going to just break that message today, because you're not too old. You can always be a super boomer no matter what age you are. Our special guest today is Joey Garrity. She is a brand director, a live stream host. She's an author. She's an international speaker. I'm exhausted, Joey. She does everything. And she is my partner in crime. And we just have a blast when we come on and we do these live streams. She's got 15 plus years of studio experience in Hollywood and with Disney. And her message has continually been, and it's what resonates with me, and it's why I just absolutely adore working with Joey, is that we can be and we should be the superstar of our own life. We should be shining the visibility on ourselves, because only then can we rise higher and higher. So today we have Joey Garrity on the show to talk about that and more. So I'm going to go ahead and bring her in and say, welcome, Joey. How you doing today?
Hi, Caren. Thank you for having me. I'm doing really great.
Well, when we were talking about the show today, it was just like a no-brainer. We were going to talk about being a superstar, because that is your message. You have a book out. I mean, that is, you have a lot of things out, but you talk about this a lot. You not only talk about it, but you go out there and try to show people how they should be shining the spotlight on themselves. And if they don't do it, you do it for them. Isn't that right?
Truth.
So, before we jump into the show, this is called the Super Boomer Lifestyle Show. So I always like to ask what a super boomer means to you. How would you describe a super boomer?
Super boomer just does the inner game work and really shows up and takes inspired action and never quits dreaming. We kick the digits to the curb. We just kick them to the curb. It's not about age.
Yes, absolutely. Not about age. So, I describe super boomer as being fearless. Super boomers they're defined by how they show up in life, and nothing gets in their way. The retirement word is not even a real word in the dictionary for them. And I'm a super boomer, right? And you're a super boomer. Do you even think about retiring? I mean, really?
No, I'd be so bored.
Exactly.
What would I do?
You would do your next. And that's really what I did, right? Your next. If you're here on live, make sure you let us know you're live, and we'll put your comments up on the screen. If you are here on replay, make sure you let us know you're here on replay. And why don't you let us know how you describe a super boomer? What does a super boomer mean to you? And so we're going to jump into the first tip that we talk about, and that is tip number 1: believe that it is your birthright to be your own superstar, stand in your own spotlight, and that you can change the world. Let's talk about that. What does that really mean?
Yeah, so I just want to identify that until we can fully stand in our own spotlight, it's very, very difficult to be the ultimate we out in the marketplace, right? And by standing in our own spotlight, we're opening doors for others to do the same.
Right.
So this isn't being an I. It's actually the ultimate gift of sharing your purpose and your gifts and talents with the world. Because when you share, others will share, because I believe, and I know you do too, Caren, that we're all connected on a very deep level. But first, you got to believe that you can change the world. And I know for myself that belief system was not there for a very, very long time. I felt that it was about making everyone else a superstar and standing in the shadows and encouraging and cheerleading everyone else. And I didn't believe that I had the superpower to change the world on any level. I just didn't.
So what was the light switch that went on that changed your mind?
I was fortunate to start running with people like yourself and build a tribe and a network where, Caren, where you were sharing with me, your aspirations and dreams. And it was like mind blowing. I was like, what? Right. But as I started running with other spirits or people that were sharing their gifts and talent on a very big level, I started realizing that that absolutely that we can all be a game changer, and more importantly, that it's our birthright to be a game changer.
Yes, and I know you say that, and I know that you are an international speaker and you speak a lot. You made that your mission, especially this year. I know you talk about it a lot, that you were stepping out of the shadows and going to start speaking again. And you speak about this a lot. And one of the things that I like to tell people is that one of the ways to get visible and to shine that light is technology. Whether you feel you're comfortable or not, technology is where it's at. I mean, you can take that live stream camera, you can take your selfie stick, you can take all of this technology. Start small. You don't have to start big. But this is what I love about this picture that I'm putting up here. I'm going to put on a solo for a second.
Yeah.
This is really cool, because how many of you guys go out and travel and you have a gazillion cords and gazillion little plugs and this thing and selfie? This is such a great travel organizer for your cords and for your selfie stick. I mean, we all use this, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And you bring up such an excellent point too, Caren, because it wasn't until you encouraged me to start doing lives. And you made it just simple. We started doing them together. We were down at the women's conference. You're like, hey, let's do a couple. It's just like riding a bike. However, now I wouldn't even dream of not doing lives. We're encouraging everyone in our tribe and beyond to do lives. And I like who I was when I started last year and who I am today. It's just like night and day. Like the anxiety is not even there anymore.
And as I think about what you're talking about, being it's your birthright to stand in your spotlight, I know one of the conversations that you and I have a lot of conversations about is, some of the times where I want to like fade into the background, right? And let everybody else around me do their thing. And you are constantly saying to me, but you need to shine the spotlight on you, because you are the star. How many people out there do you think, or it's got to be a big number of people that don't really realize that they are the superstar?
Right. Yeah. Well, society doesn't encourage us to be superstars, right? As a matter of fact, there is what I call the Quentin Tarantino myth that gets perpetuated all the time. In other words, that they're special, or that they got there, just by chance, or they were lucky, and these are all mythologies that really can keep people in the shadows, because if things aren't necessarily happening for them right away, they're like, okay, see, I'm not lucky, or, I'm not special enough, or I don't have that it factor like Jennifer Aniston or Will Smith. And when I'm out there, and particularly in my keynote, is I'm sharing about what it was like to work with the stars and how there's nothing more spectacular about them than Caren Glasser and I.
It's true.
They got back there faster. They had their belief system told them, I have the capacity, the gifts and talents to change the world, and I'm going to.
And how important is branding yourself so that when you're shining the spotlight, they go, oh yeah, I know who she is. Like, for instance, we talk about this gorgeous cashmere scarf, and if you become known as the person, not just for the content and all the things that you do to provide value and service, but they recognize you because when you show up, you're the one who always wears the scarf. This is a gorgeous scarf. I mean, just absolutely gorgeous.
And you bring up such an important point, Caren. It takes courage. It takes courage to walk in the room and get noticed, be seen and heard, right? And that's a big part of all this, of being your own superstar, finding your unique point of view and wearing it and being confident and walking in. And for Caren and I, a big part of our brand is our hair.
Yes.
We talk about it all the time, right? Yeah, it really is about our hair. And, and it honestly, and I know from your story, it took courage for you to step into your superstardom and just say, I'm owning it, I'm unique, I'm standing in it. And you did it on camera.
Yeah, I did it on the camera, and you're right. I mean, my identifying factor at this point, this stage in my life, is my hair, because I grew it out on camera, and it's white and silver and whatever color it is, and people identify that with me, and my whole show has morphed because of that. It started out as a little white lie, right? Because that's what it was built. It's no longer a lie for me. This is me. This is the real me. And we've morphed into the super boomer lifestyle, which basically says, you know what, whatever that is that pushes you into that next, embrace it. Embrace your super boomerism. Is that an actual word? I don't think so.
Yeah, but we're gonna coin it.
We're gonna make it.
It's going into the marketing.
And we're gonna actually super boomerism. Yeah, it's hard to say. Let's jump into tip number 2. There is no such thing as luck. It is a myth being perpetrated in the marketplace. You are in charge of being your own superstar. So, you know, how many times have you been told, oh my God, you're an overnight sensation?
Right. Or like down in Hollywood, and I believed it for a long time, people used to say, oh, that person has a nip factor. That person has a nip factor. Never realizing that I had a nip factor as well, and everyone around me had a nip factor. It's because they just got there sooner. That they had that there, and here's another thing too. There are people that are born into it. And what I mean by that is they're born into being a Rockefeller. They're born into being a Kennedy. They're born into being a Smith now, Will Smith's family. And so it gives them a leg up very, very quickly early in life. And that's why I really encourage people out there, stop comparing. Don't look around, look up. Don't look around, look up and believe in a higher source than yourself, and tapping into that and kick luck to the curb. Because
it's not about luck. Yeah.
How
hard do you work, Joey? How hard do you work? Would you say that you're just the luckiest woman in the world because it just showed up in front of you? No, we work really hard. And people that are out there shining the spotlight on themselves and others, they're working hard. There's nothing. Now, you might be passionate about it. You might be having a great time working hard, but there's nothing luck about it.
There's not. And I want everyone out there, a couple of things. I want everyone to strip the word luck completely out of the vocabulary, but be mindful about how often you use it. I even still have to catch myself. I'll be in the middle of a sentence. I'll be like, oh, that's so, and I'll have to stop myself because not only society, but cultures perpetuate the luck the mythology around luck. Right. That there's a golden ticket, or that there's gold at the end of the rainbow, or well, you weren't lucky this year, so maybe you'll get lucky next year. It is literally being perpetuated with inside of legacy, culture, family on top of family on top of family, and it's deep.
And and I mean, I can only imagine how that affects people when that is what happens, right?
Well, what happens when you're young, Caren, and all of a sudden the luck mythology starts really inundating you in your inner game? It starts impacting your outer game. And some people, I remember people growing up saying to me, you know what, I just never can catch a break. I'm just not lucky. I'm just never going to be that lucky person. And I'm thinking, they're immediately sending out a signal, right? What signal is that sending out?
And that's back to the mindset. We talk about this on a regular occasion. What you put out there is what comes back. So if you are constantly thinking you're not good enough and you didn't catch the break and all that, well, guess what? You're going to continue feeling like you're not good enough. The good stuff is not going to come to you so that you can see it and act on it. And that is part of what we're talking about. You have to take action.
You do. And destiny isn't rolling the dice. This is what we want. We want to kick people of this habit. And again, kick that whole luck, to the curb instead. We literally are driving our own cars, and every single impact, every single thing that's happening to us, we are so powerful that we're creating it. We're creating it. Right. And it really has nothing to do with your last name, your vocation, how much money you were born into, how little money, where you were born. It really doesn't. It can impact your mindset, right? But it has nothing to do with luck. The universe did not drop you in and say, see, well, too bad.
Exactly. And that leads us into tip number 3. Yeah. And that is to identify your distractions so that you can replace them with inspired action, so that you can actually be your own superstar. I want to bring up one of the things that actually helps me identify my distractions and replace them with inspired action. This is one of the things that I do. I do yoga now. I do meditation, but I absolutely love this yoga map. So I just had to actually bring it up so we could see it.
Gorgeous.
It's absolutely gorgeous. It has a really cool handle on it. And again, this is one of the things that I do. I know you do the same thing. You do yoga. And it's kind of cool that there is something out there that can actually help us with those distractions so that we can take those inspired actions, right?
Yeah. Well, yoga or any type of discipline, once you identify, what it does is it helps you to identify your habits. And something I
Yeah.
love about yoga is that they talk about staying on your own mat. Quit
Right.
looking around and comparing yourself to other people's yoga or to other people's mats. We'll just use it like symbolically.
Right.
And I feel like there is something about identifying the habits that are the distractions, because there are times where we think that there's certain habits of ours that are actually empowering, but they're really sabotaging us on another level.
So true. Oh my gosh, so true. All of these items that I've been showing up on the screen, the yoga mat and the travel cord case, all of these things you can get at the Super Boomer Lifestyle Store. And I mean, we love the stuff in there. You and I launched this together. We have been putting some amazing vetted products into the store, including the yoga mat, including, the travel case. We also have the, this,
Oh, I love this.
the essential, and this is another way when you identify your distractions,
Yeah.
Bring something in that will help you.
Yeah, a new client of mine, she's a master at aromatherapy. And she's been downloading me on what to use when you're not feeling well, when your energies are low. And there is scientific proof that smells will actually trigger you into having a better mood, being happier for whatever reason. And aromatherapy is a perfect way. Identifying surround yourself in habits that are luxury based, that makes you feel good. It is a game changer. Last night I was coming back from a party downtown and I had a choice if I could either take an Uber Pool or an Uber X. And usually I'll take the Pool. Like I just will, And last night I said, you know what? It's time that you sit in an Uber X in a sedan that is luxurious. It's all yours, and just meditate and just take this evening in. And Caren, it was so interesting how my mindset and how things shifted just with that one decision.
I love this story. I just really love this story. I think once we kick fear to the curb and we kick all these things to the curb and we stand in our spotlight, which again is your message, it becomes a game changer and everything changes after that. And we open ourselves up to some amazing opportunities out there. If you are looking to get in touch with Joey, as I did when I first searched her out and hired her to do some work for me, and the rest is history, I encourage you to go over to, I'm going to put this up here, to her website. That's 113branding.com. You're going to find out all sorts of information. I know that you work with the entertainment industry as well as us regular folk, but you bring us up to that entertainment environment because that is who you are. You take those same skills. We can all be in that spotlight, and that is the message.
Hopefully everyone needs to be now, even if you have a job. I just have to throw that in.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's about influence. It's about influence. It is.
Exactly. I really encourage you guys to go check out Joey's Facebook presence at the Hollywood Spotlight Series at Facebook. Just put it into the search. It will show up. And of course, following Joey on Twitter and Instagram at Joey Garrity. I always laugh at this because it's always like the same name. I like that they all mix because it's when we get this old, age is just a number and attitude, but it also means that we don't always remember everything. So this always is very helpful for me to actually remember your name and make sure it's out there. Any last tips, ideas that you want to share about this that can get people started with that spotlight shining all over them?
Yeah, again, believe that you are a star. And we're not talking People Magazine right now. What we're talking about literally every person globally was born with gifts and talents to be of service, not in service, but to be of service to the community around you. So when you get up in the morning, I always encourage my clients, the minute you get up in the morning, say, how can I be of service today?
Love it.
What door can I open up today? Because the more we shine a bright spotlight on ourselves and others. It opens doors for others to do the same.
Absolutely. I just love that. That's actually beautiful. You know, this is the moment where I do my super boomer moment. So I'm going to actually drop you out for a moment, and I'm going to bring you back actually at the very end of the show, but I'm just going to have a moment with the audience. So I'm going to take you out, and I'm going to bring in the super boomer moment placeholder card. You know, one of the things that I think about when I think about you, Joey, is that you are passionate about this. You are passionate about shining the spotlight, and you never navigate away from that. It is not something that you pay lip service to, and you just put these words out there, and you think that, you know, that just because you say it, you walk your talk. And for me personally, because you walked your talk, I stepped into a much bigger game that I never would have done. I never would have done this. Even though I've live streamed for a very long time, doing what we're doing now has really been a game changer. And it's because of your concept of that it is our birthright to shine the spotlight on ourselves at any age. I believe that. I believe it now. I might not have believed it before, but I certainly believe it now. And I want to thank you for bringing that to the table for me. So I'm going to bring you back in. And here she is. Here we go. As we get ready to say goodbye, because, you know, Joey and I really appreciate the fact that you joined us today, whether live or on replay, because we know that you have a choice as to how you spend your time. And we really are grateful. We really do mean we're appreciative that you decided to spend it with us today. Because, again, your time is precious, and we thank you for spending time with us. Joey, I want to thank you for taking your time out of your incredibly busy day as well to be on the show with us today and to celebrate the Super Boomer lifestyle, because that's what this is all about. And I just want people to go out and not only shine a spotlight on your own self, because it is your birthright, but go out and shine a spotlight on somebody in your network and just watch what happens. Yes. Go out and give somebody an awesome day, and we'll see you next time on the next Super Boomer Lifestyle Show. See you then. Bye-bye, everyone.